I'm like, we'll just put natural garden in there. I used to laugh at the people who had natural gardens. I did. I would laugh at them. I'm like, why would you do that? That's like so stupid and ugly. What, you just too lazy to maintain your own lawn? I never got it. You get older and you're like, you know, like there's different things. Good morning. Look at these pine cones. These glorious pine cones. Heard of HOA? I was never a jock. No, I would never use that word on me. I liked athleticism, but I would never consider myself a jock. First of all, I was the oldest of 8 kids, and my entire family was morbidly obese. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. A few of them kind of came around and got healthy, but most of them didn't. A lot of them are just kind of out of their control. I don't want to hash on my family that badly, but so from a very young age, I was like, no, I'm not going to be fat. I'm going to stay healthy no matter what. That's why I have so much writing on whether I'm healthy or not, because my identity is I'm just becoming, I'm just becoming my family, and I don't want to be that. I don't necessarily judge them for being out of shape, but it's like I just don't want that for me. Does that make sense? So when it starts happening, I'm like, oh damn it. Yeah. A jock is a slang term for usually a big, dumb athlete. Usually it's negative, but not always. Somebody prefers to do a sport than play a video game. These days, jocks and nerds are kind of together. They've all been kind of combined, especially with Zwift and stuff like that. Cyclists never really qualify as jocks. They never have. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Matt? Cyclists would never qualify as jocks. I mean, there's just too many problems with that. Most jocks would make fun of cyclists because they wear the tight spandex and shave their legs and stuff. Like, he shaves his legs, dude. Jocks are usually associated with, jocks are usually associated with football, basketball, or baseball. Soccer for years, I would say that today has all changed. The idea of being a sport person and also being a straight A student and intelligent has become more accepted than ever before. God, look at that. It's a great heron. It's a great heron, yeah. And yeah, but cyclists have never been put in the jock category, not in America. Seriously, they just. Have you seen Laurent Fignon or Bernard Hinault? They were my heroes. Laurent Fignon, Bernard Hinault, and of course, what was his name? The American, Greg something, I think. I was never that's not fair. I was a Lance Armstrong fan for maybe 1 year. He was kind of after my time. Back in the Laurent Fignon days, there was no such thing as blood doping. Greg LeMond. Greg LeMond was the American who kicked ass. Won the tour like 3 times and was a superhero. You know what? He didn't blood dope. Lance Armstrong comes along and like knocks off the pedestal every other cycling hero who ever lived. I had posters of Bernard Hinault in Laurent Fignon. Laurent Fignon he's like this French guy with these like little French glasses and this tiny little hat. Yeah, but the thing that sucks about Lance is he's gone down in history as being like the only guy who won Tour de France 7 times. Yeah, he fucking doped the whole time, and everybody else was like, including me, was like, no, there's no way this guy can be better than my favorite, Greg LeMond. You know, there's no way he can be better than him. There's no way he can be, and we are like forced to like shove it down our throat that our heroes, our cycling heroes, were like, you know, old school and, oh yeah, hey Boomer, you know, I like your cycling heroes, Boomer. And then it all came out, and not only did it come out, but it came out that he had been lying for all those years even before that. And so every time it could come up about every like 5 years, it would come up again. And not only that, but his friends were lying for him too. And the whole thing spelled out. And the whole sport of cycling was destroyed for me after that. I didn't want anything to do with it. You bunch of liars. All of you are lying. And around that same time, what happened? You remember Mr. Sammy Sosa hitting all those home runs, like making Babe Ruth look like a kindergartner? Fucking doping the whole time. Blood doping the whole time. And about that time is when I was done with professional sports of any kind. Of any kind. I didn't even want to watch, you know, any of the new basketball stars, because all of them, every single pro athlete at this point is doing something to their body to modify their body to be competitive. And I was like, I don't want anything to do with it. I just want to go do my own thing. You know? Yeah. You accept it's going to happen, and they can't detection. But they shouldn't have to do the detection. The fact that these people are so driven to cheat to that level, and it's like, well, you're just got to be better. You got to be, you know, you're tech. It's like Trump. It's like Trump saying that anybody who doesn't, you know, that has to pay a lot of money on their taxes is stupid because they don't know the system. Like, do you have any fucking ethics at all? I mean, like, even at a minimal level? Doesn't sound like they do. I don't know. It just drives me nuts. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's going to be a nice view there.
Oh, it is.
It's an odd lot. I wondered how they would do it, but that's not a bad view.
No, it's not. I've been down there so many times. I walk here a lot.
Oh, yeah?
And at sundown, sitting, I met the owner of this house actually. Back when it was just grass, I used to walk down there and just sit and watch the sun go down, you know. Yeah. It's really too bad they don't have like a public launch someplace where we could just hang out. I mean, you have to be like at your house, you know.
I know.
But
do you live on this road?
I live at the end of the road, but we don't have a lake place. So, yeah.
Well, I live where the chicken coop is.
Oh, I love your chicken coop. I stop in there and talk to the chickens all the time. I hope you don't mind.
No.
I just like reach over and say hi to them.
Sure. I'm down to 4 chickens. I started with 12.
Oh, you did?
But that's right before COVID. I got the chick.
Yeah.
And I had lots of eggs when they started, and now
Yeah.
I'm down to where they're so old, I might get an egg a week, you know.
Yeah. My good friend's there. She's a professor at Davidson, and she started raising them, and they ended up getting to be such friends with the chickens. Because, you know, they were there for the eggs and everything, and then they finally but they had a fox get in.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
I understand there's 2 foxes that live down
They
there.
live down that road?
Yeah.
Dude, they don't mess around. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was,
They get them.
yeah, and it was kind of tragic actually, because they had grown kind of attached to these cute chickens that they had the chickens with the crazy hair. What are those?
Oh,
You know,
they're all kinds. Yeah. I had just chickens.
Yeah.
Go to southern states.
We're thinking about getting another. We're just renting right now, but we're gonna probably get another place, and we thought about it because it is kind of fun to.
The key to it, though, is to build Fort
Uh-huh.
Knox. Meaning,
Oh, so they can't get out.
so things can't get
Take a minute. Have you ever had problems with the infighting between the chickens? Sometimes they'll do that.
Okay, this is about my 4th flock.
Yeah.
And if you get like 3 of these and 3 of these and 3 of these, they end up not getting along.
Oh.
It's better to buy like 12
Uh-huh.
of one kind.
And then they kind of figure it out.
Figure it out, and it's
Interesting.
there's still a pecking order. And
Yeah.
There's still a little bit of flurry every now and
Yeah.
then, but it's not vicious.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I mean, dogs do that, cats do that.
Right. But if
Yeah.
you get one breed,
Yeah.
it's much better.
Really, it's the same breed is the secret.
About all 12.
So they're used to dealing with each other.
Yeah, they're all one kind.
Yeah. My wife had a Jack Russell for years, and
they're great dogs.
they are
Smart.
fantastic dogs, so smart. But they do not like dogs of another kind.
Oh, no,
They're like
they're fearless.
they this thing. She would, if we left the door open. There was another lab who had like a stuffed animal in his mouth while he was like going around for a walk, and she's like, "That guy is my enemy," and she did not care. She shot across 3 lanes of traffic to go get that thing, and she just thought she was going to just take him out. And I'm like, "You can't take out the laboratory."
My daughters rode horses, and we had a Jack Russell.
Yeah.
And the trainer came to me one day and says, "Please don't bring that little white dog." I said, "Why?" He said, "Let me show you." We went over a hill. The dog was chasing 2 horses around and around and around. And he said,
He's like, "That's my job." It's like those sheepdogs who just do amazing. There's YouTube videos of them. It's just
they're
crazy.
fearless.
Oh, my name's Rob, by the way. You are?
My name is Wilton Connor.
You're Wilton. Okay, Wilton. Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm going to try to do this now that the weather's a little bit better. I think this is...
It's good for 'em.
Yeah. Thank you. See you, bud. It's good for us, he says. It's good for us, he says. Wilton Connor. Remember that name. We're underneath the construction site, I know. Wilton. $7 a dozen in the store, yeah. Dude, you can make bank on chickens right now. We used to buy our chickens from one of my students. He raised them, and his dad was a farmer, and he's brilliant. The guy was brilliant coder. He got his own job seed coating at 18, and but he used to buy chickens for him all the time. He'd bring us a dozen, and we'd say, okay. Like anytime he would bring us eggs, and when he had them, we'd buy them. We'd say, we'll buy all your eggs, because that's one of the things you can do, right? Yeah. The Burpiclums. Wilton. We can't really forget that name. Ascertainment, do you have a note-taking thing? Can you put Wilton Connor in our list? Wilton, W-I-L-T-O-N, I think. Connor. He's the owner of the chickens. Thank you. Wilton Connor, chicken guy. And he was just looking for somebody to talk to. You know how people of a certain age will talk to you no matter what? Okay, now multiply that by 5 because you're in the South. That's the first thing I noticed when I moved to North Carolina. You had to like make an extra time adjustment to everything you did because there was always like 5 minutes of chit chat with the cashier. And you had to get used to being called baby. Like by people call you baby, you know. How's it going, Kenny? Kennelsion. I'm just gonna call you Kenny. Or honey. Listen up, honey. Listen, honey. Everybody's so friendly. I mean, you know, as long as they don't feel threatened, they're also more fearful in general. You go to New York, nobody's afraid of anything, man. They probably are, they just don't, you know. Down here, though, you put something strange in front of them, they're like, I don't know about that. And that's fine. It's just you just have to know what you're dealing with, you know. It's good for us. It's good for us. Wilton says it's good for us. I said, hey, I'm going to come out here and walk in the spring. He goes, well, you know, it's good for us. It's good for us, he said. He's absolutely right. Where is this? Someone give him a map. I got a lot of people here don't know how the map command. Plus map. Exclamation point map or plus map. Two different map commands. So this is Wilton's lot right here. Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to see Wilton again. I think we're going to see Wilton again. He's going to go for walks. He walks at the same time as us. You know, it is beautiful, isn't it? That's why we decided to walk today instead of... Yeah, I think I pretty much decided to walk in the morning. Because it's something that I can do. It gets my blood going and it doesn't like risk of... I used to work out in like strength training in the morning because, you know, your muscles are fresh, blah, 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 but I don't think muscle training on unwarmed up muscles is a great idea if you're over 50. So I'm just going to wake up and go for a walk. Oh shit, here comes somebody else. I'm going to call somebody. I don't think I've heard the name Wilton before either. Yeah, let me see if I can talk to you. Let's see, I'm going to pretend like I'm talking to you now. Don't say anything. Yeah. What? I don't know. Look at nice chickens. I got you by my ear, so it looks like I'm talking in their fault. Yeah. See, I need to have you guys talking out loud like that lady. I don't know if you saw this, but as soon as I put you next to my ear, Wilton. Yeah. There's something, so as soon as I put my phone in my ear, it's amazing what I can do, people. It is absolutely amazing what I can do. I'll tell you a secret of IRL streaming if you don't want to get caught. Even though I have a camera on my chest, right? If I take my phone, and if I put my phone by my ear, and if I just start talking into my phone like this, people, I can walk straight past them, 2 feet next to them, and it's like they have been conditioned to discount you immediately if you have a phone at your ear. And I swear to God, I can like brush shoulders with them and they'll be fine with it. Because they think that I'm into the conversation. This is my theory. They think that I'm into the conversation and I'm not really into what they're doing or anything. And it's not about them like, oh, that guy's just talking with his wife or something, right? And they totally just shut me out of their head. I told you about if you want to go into anything without paying, take a ladder with you. There was a study done on that. 2 guys with a ladder, they could go into anything because nobody questions them. They become invisible. But I'm telling you, if you stick a phone to your ear, you can see. I can have a GoPro pointing right in their face, and if I put the phone to my ear, I can sit here and talk. It's like if a car comes. It's +5 stealth. It totally is. It's like if I put the phone in, and when I can talk, people they don't have the same idea, you know. They just think it's nothing. I'm telling you. But if they see me talking to myself like that, actually, when they see me talking to myself like this, they usually look to see if there's something in my ear. This is something that all of these earbuds have really helped us IRL streamers out with. So if I'm carrying a phone, operative word is carrying, then they think that I'm talking into the phone, even though I'm walking around. So they're like, they don't know who I'm talking to, right? So I'm just talking to the phone here, which is not a lie. I'm talking on the phone to, 35 people from Twitch. Yeah, it's pretty weird to have to think about that, but it's true. American Eagle. There's a house you don't want to mess with. The standard stuff that you put in your yard. It's like you have people who put gnomes in their yard, and you have people who put sports banners in their yard. There's kind of like 2 camps. I suppose there's people in between. Is it wrong? The truth is, some of them will put American flags. Both of them will put American flags in their yard. So are you a gnome person? Or are you a sports banner person? My wife is definitely a gnome person. She married a gnome. She jokes about it all the time. She married me because I had gnome potential, and then she turned me into a gnome. She's like, oh, I love glasses. Oh, I love beards. Ooh, I love, here, have some more food. She turned me into a gnome. She even said so. Because I turned you into the gnome I always wanted. I'm like, okay. And then I look at her and she's this, old granny chic hot grandma. I'm like, my God, you're hot. I'm so turned on right now. She's like, you're so weird. I said, I guess so. It's true though. I'm not attracted to like Karen. I was married to Karen. I was married to the biggest Karen of all time. I swear to God. I want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I had to go back on Facebook because Facebook, you can't do anything without Facebook these days. We'll say, true story, the only thing that got, my kids are on Facebook, everything, the only thing that got me to go back to Facebook was the bike thing. The bicycle event that's down in Charlotte once a month. What's it called? I forgot now. Critical mass in history, yeah. So, but the story is, so I have Facebook. So now Facebook is like, putting its algorithm to thing. It's like showing me every person that I ever known or think that I want to know. And one of them is my ex. But my ex doesn't know I have a Facebook account now. So I was like looking through old profile pictures, going back to like 2018, pictures I've never seen before. And I was just reminded, I'll say, of how much the right decision was to get divorced. That's all. It was just such a good decision. I did the right thing in the wrong way. She had a President Reagan quote. It was so bad. It was so bad. Once I saw the documentary and I saw the actual testimony from the Iran-Contra scandal, if you don't know about the particulars of what actually happened, now that's all been opened, all the records are now opened. So you can actually go read for yourself, you can go see what actually happened. You don't want to do it, you'll just get angry. You'll just get so angry. And all those people that were pretending to be nicey nice, they were liars. They were just straight up lying. People were dying. Thousands of people were dying. The Iran-Contra scandal is worse than any scandal that's ever happened in the White House. Thousands and thousands of people died because of it. And we just washed it under the table like nothing ever happened. It was all Ollie North's fault. It wasn't actually. It wasn't. Reagan had a direct part in it. And they did not care because it wasn't Americans dying. So sad. It's so funny because at the same time, Harrison Ford was in that Patriot Act or whatever. Is she still in the cult? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. I'm just another old guy out for a walk. Don't mind me. Oh, I'm gonna lose my phone. My phone's only got 15% left. It's only got 15% left. Yeah. I don't know about that. Look at these. Oh my God, it's so pretty. Popcorn popping on the apricot tree. Spring has brought me such a nice surprise. Popcorn popping right before my eyes. I could take a handful and make a treat. A popcorn ball that would smell so sweet. It wasn't really so, but it seemed to be. Popcorn popping on the apricot tree. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Why is this guy slowing down like this? It's like starting to freak me out. I don't know. What's he doing? That was freaky. Why would you slow down like that? Why was the guy slowing down like that? That was weird. Maybe it was just wanted to see the blossoms. Oh God. Staying up for the bike? Hell, I don't know. I had to buy it directly from them, so it's not tracked. UPS. I realized I only bought one dumbbell instead of two. Yeah. I bought a dumbbell rack and I don't know if I want it now. And it's too expensive to return, so I'm gonna have to keep it. I know, I have such a big brain. I guess I just didn't select two. I thought it was I mean, who sells one dumbbell? I thought it was a pair. And I'm like, oh, hey, my dumbbell, wait, dumbbell is here. Damn. I still think dumbbells are valuable because you can do lawnmowers. I think for my strength training, I went through the triathlete Bible on training. In the Triathlon Bible, one of the things I really like about the Triathlon Bible is that it's functional strength. So it has all these exercises for strength training that are functional strength. They're not just sheer, bulk strength. They're like actual, for example, the swimming, they have a swimming thing used with a resistance band where you simulate the swimming stroke. And, stuff like that. And I think dumbbells are the best, dumbbells and kettlebells are the best ways to simulate everyday functional strength, like squatting to pick something up, picking up a small child or two small children. Certain muscle groups. Yeah, that too. So like if you're gonna do like curls or something. Look at this. There's still a backlog of cars. An hour later, there's still a backlog of cars on this road. I made the right decision by walking in the morning. I'm going to change my calendar. Yeah. We're kind of going over time here. 1 hour and 12 minutes. If we calculate 5 minutes for the talking with Wilton. Yeah, I think, how many steps is that? My heart rate went down, damn it. Whenever my heart rate goes down, my body gets bloated when it goes under 100. I think it's because my body thinks, oh, hey, I need more energy, or let me go digest some more food. And you're like, no, we're not ready for that yet. I swear to God that's true. I've been doing triathlon and endurance sports since I was 12, and I've noticed that when your heart rate goes down past a certain point, your body thinks it's in recovery mode again. It thinks it's like going back to, like, I need to, damn, I just burned. It's like, okay, are we done now? Okay, and then, because they always say that, 20 to 30 minutes after you exercise is the best time to take in nutrients because your body's primed to get those nutrients. So if you trick your body on accident by coming out of a run or something, your body has no way of knowing. And so your body's like, oh, we're done exercising now. And as soon as your body thinks you're done exercising, it starts to go, I swear to God, the chemistry inside your body changes because, and you can tell it by bloating. Like if I all of a sudden get like really bloated, that's usually what happens. And but if I keep running at a certain pace, I don't get bloated. And I think that's because my body's like putting a bunch of blood into my fat stores and stuff like that. I don't know. But, and it's like, hey, I'm going to go get these nutrients. We're going to get you some more energy here. Because that's what happens, That's what happens with the fat cell. The life cycle of the fat cell. That's why you get bloated before you get skinny. So what your body does, I saw a thing on this recently. It was very interesting. I did not know all these years I did not know this. How your body gets energy from fat. And if you're doing low aerobics like this, what it does is it takes out the fat from the fat cell and converts that into blood sugar energy, ATP ultimately. And I don't know how this is going to go now. And let me go across this and I'll tell you. These people are just not going to let me cross. I swear to God. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to go and risk getting run over. So, ATP. And then, yeah. Mitochondria goes powerhouse of the cell, yes. But so when your fat cell, before your fat cell dies, which is what you want, right? One of the hard things about getting skinny is that you have actually more fat cells, not just more fat. The fat has to go in a fat cell, so your body has a higher percentage of fat cells, which is kind of contradictory, but your body has to kill off those fat cells for you to get skinny permanently. And so apparently the cycle is that the fat cell, just doing exercise like this is great. That's what empties out the fat cell of its fat. So then you have this empty balloon. You have this empty balloon sitting around and it fills it with water. Yeah, this is the part I did not know about that. Okay, so when your fat cell will die if it doesn't have anything in it. So it fills your fat cell with water, and so you get really bloated. And so there's like this intermediate phase before you start to lose weight, where and this is why it's so important that you hydrate too, because you can't actually lose fat unless you're hydrated, which is really counterintuitive. So the fat cell gets filled with water, so it takes out the fat and puts water in there and says, hey, I might use this fat cell next time. Maybe I'm not done with it yet here. I'm going to keep it around for a while. And how long it keeps it around, I don't know. I didn't read that part. But it keeps it around. I'm overdue for my yearly colonoscopy. All right, fine. So, the point is that you have to not put fat or food back in your body for a certain amount of time, and then the water will eventually go, and it'll recover the fat cell because it says, okay, we're not using you, we don't need you, and it'll let the fat cell die, and your body will recoup the fat cell, and you'll poop it out or pee it out or something. It'll break it down. But that takes a lot of time. It's not like, which is why, you think, oh, hey, I'm just going to go run and I'm going to burn 10 fat cells today and they're going to be off of my body. They'll be off your body, but you're still going to be bloated and your weight's not. This is the article I was reading was emphasizing how important it is when you're trying to gauge weight loss that you not measure yourself every day. He said that is going to screw you up. It's going to make you upset. It's going to be wrong. He says the best thing to do is to create a consistent habit and then have a specific day once per week or even month where you measure your weight and make sure you're doing the same type of activities every week so that you have a relatively similar schedule, like training wise. So after like a week of recovery, for example, that's, I think the best time to weigh yourself is like once every 3 weeks or whenever your recovery period is. Now I do it every week right now on a Friday when I know that I have got the same workout kind of scheduled, so that, you know, it's fairly consistent. And that has been a consistent drop in weight. Before, when I was weighing myself every day, my wife weighs herself every day, it was like all over the place, and it was so frustrating. I was like, man, what did I do yesterday? I worked out really hard and I gained weight. Well, you gained weight because you stored all this extra fat. And if you're eating carbs because you need to like recarb your body for energy for the next workout, the carbs also bring a bunch of water with them too, and that causes you to do water retention. So you end up having more water weight in the morning, whereas you like have some like kick-ass workout the day before and you're totally dehydrated and you drop 3 pounds. And then you're like, yeah, man, look at me. Actually, when you get dehydrated, you get more cut too. You look more cut, so when you wake up in the morning, you're like, hey, I can see those abs better or something. And it's all bullshit. So, because you just don't know where your body is at any given moment. That's why you got to be consistent with your measurements. Yeah, it was really interesting. That's the kind of thing I geek out on. How's it going, Bear Root? Big facts. Yeah. So yeah. So especially if you're somebody who's like obese and you have a lot of fat to deal with, your weight's going to fluctuate like crazily, because so much of it is because your water weight is a thing, right? So it's actually a dangerous sign if you drop weight too fast and you're a triathlete, because that means you're not rehydrating enough. You're busting down muscle tissue. So 90 minute walk is I probably need to make that. If I'm going to do this in the morning, I got to do it for 90 minutes. Lap 9, that's 10,000 steps though right there. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do this because this is really low impact. It's a nice way to get out and talk. Kind of wakes me up for the day. Yeah. I might end up biking at night, actually, because it's like a video game. Instead of playing Overwatch, I can bike. You know what I hate about that game? Is it gives you stuff for working out. If you work out, you get stuff. You get drops. You don't get the drops unless you work out. But I want the fancy headband. Semaglutide? No, what is that? A post? Nice. Muscle groups as well. I think you're right. I think, well, one of the things too is like cycling doesn't build your ass very well. It does, but not nearly as well as running. And you just see I got the running thing too. Did I tell you that? So I didn't know this, but Zwift, like last year they added running. Yeah, you just have a pod. I bought it. It's like $20. It's like $25. You pay $25, you get this pod. It goes on your foot, and you can actually take your iPad or whatever to the gym, and you can go for runs, Zwift runs on the gym, and you get points and everything. It's really cool. I mean, it's really cool. Gamification of health. So the only problem is that I can't put my camera in the other room. I'm going to save my Twitch money. They have a transceiver, an HDMI transceiver, that apparently goes through the walls and stuff. And if that works, I'll put my GoPro or something permanently in the front room, and I'll hook it to the HDMI thing. Yeah, it works on iPad. Yeah, it works on iPad. They have another thing on the phone. You can do the whole thing from your phone if you want. And then they have a thing called the controller, which is a separate app that goes on your phone that you can have on your arm. So you can have like a big screen in front of you, right? You have this big screen in front of you, and then you have your controller, and you can like wave to people and turn and do stuff like that from your phone. Yeah, I know. It's not. I agree. The other thing that's really crazy about this is that I can actually do Zwift and work. You know, if I go on a nice, easy cycling ride and there's like some amount of code that I need to read or something, I don't know if I want to do that though. The only thing I can do and exercise is read and watch TV. Those are the only things. If I try to do actual code or any kind of like knowledge work, I fail every time because it's just too distracting. Unless it's walking. I can walk like 5 miles and like write code while I'm walking. I've done it so many times. So I think I'm going to add walking back as a big form of exercise. Peptide for appetite suppressant, nice. You know what is really good for appetite suppression? That vinegar, man. That vinegar, oh my god. Like a little shot of that vinegar, even half a shot in the morning, it just shuts down all of your hunger. It's pretty amazing. You gotta be careful though, because when you're working out like this, you need to get nutrients back in your body so it can build it back up. You know, so I think it's eating the right food is really the way to go. Apple cider vinegar, yeah. People were telling me to do that a long time ago because it's good for your everything, and then I learned the way to use it for me is I use just a little tiny shot of it because it's so disgusting. But I swear to God, it does something to your stomach chemistry. As soon as you take a shot, you're not hungry at all because it like puts acid in your stomach. My theory is it tricks your stomach into thinking you've just digested a meal because of the acid, and you really aren't. You didn't, but it stops hurting. You don't do too much though; it'll make you sick. You'll puke, just like you had a big meal or something. That's my theory on it. I was like, I just got people were saying to do a whole shot in the morning, and I was like, no, fuck that. I just do like when I want an appetite suppressant, I'll just do it. But these days, that rather than not eating, I eat. I just make sure I eat good food. You know. I put my light on. I did. I put my light on in the back. Goodbye, birdies. Everybody's still asleep. God, it's hot. It's hot in here now. Yeah. But don't forget, you still need to eat food. You still need to eat food. Yeah, you can't just like cut yourself off. That's bad for your body. Alright, my famous protein oatmeal. Should probably have a B vitamin too. No. These things are miraculous. They're like coffee. Don't overdo it though. These B12. Plus they're kind of good. The thing about walking is I can do it in the rain too. Even if it's cold. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna stop my thing. Damn. 10,000 steps. Yeah, I think that's the new normal. My wife is getting messages in the other room. Yo, Sam. Good morning. Where's your clothes? You're naked, Sam. I went outside. I did. I already went. I saw chickens. She's like, "Where's Mom?" She has a routine. She has a routine every morning. She gets up, and then Mom gets up, and then she goes to poop. You want me to take her?
What?
You want me to take her? You're on. I'm not going to video you, but you're on sound. I'm cooking and I'm talking, and the video is being broadcast. My wife just woke up. I'm absolutely sure she doesn't want me to stream her right now. That would be mean. Instead of having peanut butter, just have a few peanuts. Most peanut butter is mostly sugar. Should I make my wife some coffee? That's what I'm going to do. I'll make her coffee. You gotta hurry though, because she's... I used to do this for the girls at the yoga camp. I'd wake up and make them coffee every morning. I was the coffee guy. One. Well, that's almost enough. Where'd my stuff go? $9.20. Yeah, the walking in the morning is my new thing. I have a feeling. And it's like something that's very consistent. You just wake up and do it no matter what. And then the cycling and stuff, I'll just mix that in and do whatever I feel like, whatever kind of day we have, you know. I don't necessarily have to have everything all worked out in stone every time. I'm not training for triathlon. I'm trying to be healthy. As long as I do something every day, you know. Listen to the body. The crunch makes it super special. I really should not. What do? You're supposed to have 4 of these a day. So I'm going to have, they're multivitamins, but they're like spread out more. So I just have 2. What am I making? I'm making protein. It's chocolate protein powder, a dash of fat, you know, avocado oil, coconut oil, oatmeal, and almonds. And you just mix it up and turns it into a brownie. It turns into a brownie. It smells really good. And then it's kind of like an energy bar, but not, right? And then I just have a multivitamin with it. And then I've been doing this for a long time. I'm making this stuff. Not quite enough water in this one. Sometimes I get the water mixture right. Sometimes I get it wrong. But it's rolled oats. It's, you know, the good oats. Don't get the shitty oats. Get the rolled oats, the actual, you know, steel cut or whatever. Not steel cut. Old-fashioned oats. And the oats are like fiber and everything, right? They're also not gluten, so a little bit better on your body. And the hard thing about gluten to remember is that gluten comes with, you know, stuff that's called gluten because, you know, it has that kind of gluey thing in it. Too much gluten, even if you're not allergic, is not good for you, especially Monsanto gluten, in my opinion. I don't have any science to back that up, but that's what I think's happened. I think they've modified the gluten enough that it's passed to health standards, but it's triggering allergies in humans all over because it's just a little bit off. That's how Monsanto defeated the blight in India. They modified the rice grain so that the blight couldn't attack it anymore, and yet the bodies could, quote, still process it. Yeah. So many people are that way with gluten. I think that human beings are not naturally that way. That's my theory. My theory is that altered grains have screwed us up. Like slightly altered grains have screwed us up because we eat them in small doses for a long amount of time. And the studies that they would have to do to prove that would take, you know, decades. And Monsanto has actually, believe it or not, done good things. Monsanto, there's a really great NPR story I heard firsthand from a guy who used to work for Monsanto. He was an agricultural scientist. And he was conflicted because he knew that they were modifying the grain to do different things. But there was one time Monsanto modified the grain in India to make it blight resistant, and they ended starvation for millions of people because they made a rice grain that would grow. And they made it so it didn't get attacked by the blight. And they saved millions of people by genetically modifying the grain. But I think if you do the human body, I think if you do a lot of tiny modifications to things, that's how you get allergies, right? Over exposure to something like in a small amount of time. Doris, I was just telling them, your coffee's ready. Made by processed food, yeah. I mean, the debate is whether all these allergies that everybody has now, autism is a form of an allergy, sort of. And if they always existed, we just didn't know about them, or they didn't exist before. Well, damage over time. I mean, the one thing I can be grateful to the Mormons for, the Mormons are obsessed with fitness. They're either not or they are. This is very negative, but I'm going to say it anyway. One of the things that always drove me crazy about the Mormons is they don't drink coffee, they don't drink tea, they don't do alcohol, they don't do cigarettes, but they will eat until they weigh 400 pounds. And they don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because God didn't say, eating, taking your whole family to a Leatherby Sunday every weekend is okay. But they won't drink tea. God no, they won't touch tea. Some people won't even eat chocolate because it has caffeine. But they'll become morbidly obese and think that that's what God wants. Right. They're all about the letter of the law. And by the way, the Mormon religion doesn't believe in that. The word of wisdom says do the right thing for your body. That means be healthy. Staying healthy is the right thing to do for your body. That's what God wants for your body, if you believe in that shit. It just makes me crazy, all the gymnastics in their head that they would have to do to justify sucking down caffeine-free, sugar-free cola every day and saying that, they're still obeying the word of wisdom because they're not drinking coffee. Look, even 8 cups of coffee a day is better for you than 4 big gulps of Mountain Dew. But they had no problem with the Mountain Dew because God didn't explicitly say you can't drink Mountain Dew. Unless you're on BYU campus, then you can't because it has caffeine. It just drives me crazy because these church ladies, some of them, they would judge, people who are drinking beer or something like that, and then they're sucking back their big gulps of Mountain Dew.
Jesus praise it. It's so healthy after we say so.
God created Mountain Dew. I love Mountain Dew. That's the problem.
God created coffee.
God created coffee.
Man created that Mountain Dew.
There you go. Coffee bean comes from God.
Yes.
So does cocaine. So does sugar. You know what? You might have a permanent coffee maker for you now. I'm your built-in coffee maker.
Wow.
That's something that you would like?
Oh my God, the list just keeps growing.
I know.
I feel so spoiled.
Yeah. It's good content, Doris. Getting healthy is good content. Also, Wilton is good content.
Who's Wilton?
Wilton is this 65-year-old man that I ran into who just wanted to talk my ear off.
Where'd you go?
I walked down the normal place where I walk down the peninsula. Good morning, Doris, they said. Get a reverse osmosis filter and clean up your own water. Stop buying it. They're not wrong. My wife actually has a reverse osmosis filter. Yeah. I gotta ask her that. Yeah. You wanna go see the dog poop? Dolores is in the public now, so I can film her. She can't say anything. She's in public. She's in the public land. She's fair game now. She's in the public. I can film her now because she's fair game. She's out in public. I can stand on my public property and film you and be completely within my legal rights. I just came out here because I have a question for you. So, a reverse osmosis filter.
It's amazing. I had one.
You had one. Don't you still have it?
No, I had that in like the fucking
No, I
90s.
thought you put it in the.
No, my dad bought me one after I had cancer.
Oh, I thought you had one.
Because there was one of his customers said it helped her so much after she had cancer.
Are you guys actually going for a walk?
No, we're doing our normal around the block.
Oh. All right.
When we have a house, I'd be very happy to get one.
Okay. She did flip me off. Do you know what they said? She's going to flip you off. When I said the whole thing, they predicted it. Here it comes.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a distiller because I haven't even had coffee yet.
I,
Reverse osmosis filter I had, yes. But I think you're talking about, you know how I used to buy distilled water or the whatever water at the health food store?
but there's water. Don't we have something that goes under the sink? You said we had something like that.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm talking about, what I'm thinking about is the ionized water.
Ionized water. Yeah.
Yeah, no, reverse osmosis I had in all my houses.
Let's get one. You don't think we could go get one now and then have it used in another place? I think we should get a big one in the house when we get the house.
You get it right, I had it like over in Falls, you have it right where the water comes
We
in
get
the
two
house.
things in the house because we're going to get an old house and redo it. We're going to get the on-demand hot water. You have infinite hot water. Remember
I
that?
don't know, though, that might be gas.
I don't think it is.
Maybe they have it
It's not. It's
electric
like I know it is. I've seen the electrical and they have coils around the thing. And then I want to get like a household soft water for the whole house
Yeah.
and reverse osmosis for our.
Yeah.
Those are all things that I ordered up in my suburban home checkboxy
I
thing.
read a whole